Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for this collective energy reading. Let's see what messages we have for the collective today. Okay, let's get started. Ooh, Page of Pentacles coming out in the reverse to start our reading. Page of Pentacles in reverse is an interesting one. There's the Fool in reverse. Kind of picking up on where I was going to go with this. It feels like there's a very, very new beginning on the horizon. You're just sort of receiving the energy for this new beginning. And so it's very much unseen, and it's very much not in your, it's not really in your conscious awareness right now, but it may be in your subconscious. You may be feeling the stirrings of a new beginning, but not... It's almost like you're not giving it any attention at this time because the page is in reverse, the Fool is in reverse, and also the Strength card is in reverse. So this could be a day where you're feeling a little bit of a lack of confidence that there is a new beginning, and yet here it is. So it's interesting. The Eight of Cups also came out. So this makes me think that there may be something that you need to walk away from in order to catalyze your confidence, to catalyze your feelings like you're ready to take a leap of faith in a new direction. But there may be something that you need to walk away from first. So it's interesting. It could be something that you've attached some emotion to. It could be a pattern of behavior. It could be, it kind of feels like it could be an attachment, an emotional attachment, perhaps to an experience, person, relationship. Something has shifted, and it's almost like you need to walk away from something in order to sort of begin this new path. But I feel like there's a low amount of confidence right now in your belief in yourself, in your belief that you're able to overcome anything to move ahead, and that it's almost like you're doubting your ability to overcome obstacles, and perhaps your perspective is skewed to the obstacles. So you're focused on the obstacles and you're not really thinking about, I need to get distance from this kind of thinking. You might even need to get distance from the emotions you're carrying. That could be it. That could be why we're seeing the Eight of Cups for some of you. For some of you, you're just overthinking. There's the Eight of Swords, as I was talking about. Well, perhaps, it has to do with you getting sort of distance from these emotions that you are holding about yourself. Well, you could also be holding some limiting beliefs that are holding you back from even recognizing that there's a new beginning here and that you are capable of overcoming any obstacles that may come up. But something has got me wondering what's going on today for you. If this is resonating, what kind of limits are you perceiving or feeling, right? You could be perceiving them mentally or feeling them emotionally. There's the Ace of Rods, though. This is the time to sort of, I almost feel like saying to you, take it easy, but I also feel like saying to you, this is a really new start, one that is going to sort of require your will and your passion and your enthusiasm. And I can't help but feel like there's a lack of enthusiasm. And it may be that, you need to move away from what you're doing or thinking or feeling and sort of change your perception, change your perspective into something that brings you joy, into something that brings a spark of passion into your life. And that passion could be something that you do creatively. It could just be you sort of reclaiming yourself from something that had you sort of feeling like it was time to move away from it because you were starting to worry, you were starting to feel maybe emotionally dissatisfied with something, but also overthinking and worrying and fearing outcomes and consequences. It's almost like the past and the future, and yet there's a lot going on in the now that could actually lead you to a brand new journey. Interesting. So staying present and moving away from anything that feels like it's just not serving you anymore. You don't have to explain it. You can just follow your instincts, right? That card felt like it wanted to flip over. Okay, King of Cups. So not being overly ruled by our emotions. That's the King of Cups. The King of Cups energy, it could be you or it could be a person in your life. This sort of feels like it could be your energy or the guidance for your energy to sort of adopt a perspective that says, I feel my emotions, but I don't let them rule me. I have other senses and I like to tap into them as well. But my emotions are certainly valid, but they don't always tell me the whole story. They just tell me how I feel about something, but they don't necessarily tell me more than that. And it's almost like the King of Cups understands that. He feels his emotions, but he doesn't let them sort of overtake the bigger picture. You know, he looks at the bigger picture often in a way that can allow him to be around a lot of emotions and hold that equanimity where he doesn't have a reaction. He's not triggered. He understands what his emotions, the information that his emotions are giving him, and it sort of allows him to stay centered in that equanimity, that space where we are around a lot of emotions, but we're not triggered. We're not reacting, right? We're feeling, but we're not reacting. So it's very interesting. That could be the guidance for you today. Oh, there was the Seven of Cups flipped over. I didn't notice that until I looked down. Seven of Cups. So you have options. You have options, and I almost feel like, do you know you have options? Because I can't help but look at this center row and think, you feel defeated by something. Well, maybe that something's not for you. You know, you may feel defeated by something, but perhaps it's not defeat. Perhaps it's just that there's another path that's really for you, and it's trying to sort of get your attention. You could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities towards something today. And it might be interesting if you sort of give them your attention. Okay, the Nine of Swords just fell out. I'm going to put it back in and shuffle. We'll see if it comes back. Let's see here. Justice. So you might be overly critical of yourself today. You might be critical of others today. It feels like you're trying to maybe balance things out, to understand where virtue lies, right? What's virtuous, and in what capacity are we looking at a new beginning here? Maybe overly critical, maybe away from your intuition and more towards logic. And it's interesting because Temperance is on the bottom of the deck, which tells me that you're really being guided to go with the flow here. So if something's not working out, it's not that you're defeated and you can't do it and all of these other things that you might be telling yourself. It could just be that that's not the path for you. There's another path for you. And so to see that you truly do have options, and to try other things, to try something that maybe sparks your passion, your inspiration, what makes you feel like you're really embracing life. Perhaps you're trying to move something in the material world, and actually you're sort of being guided to go with the flow, to do something more like a passion project, instead of thinking so focused on the material resources, time, career. Perhaps there's actually a creative outlet that you're being guided to pursue, to release some of this mental worry that you're holding. You know what I mean? Like, this almost feels like someone's working really hard at something and feeling sort of like they're not really into it, but they're working hard at it, but you're not really into it. And you're sort of, it's interesting. It almost seems like there's something else you could be doing, something that feels like less of a burden, something that feels intuitive, something that brings in a lot of emotional happiness, and that makes you feel like you're You're tapping into that intuition and really seeing what's beneath the surface for you, and what do you really want to do, right? It's interesting. Not what do you feel you should do, or what you ought to be doing, or what so and so said you should be doing, or you know what I mean, or what other people think you should be doing. It almost feels like there's a path here to take that is all about you. It's a path all about you. And I can't help but feel like, looking at some of the cards at the bottom of the deck, that you might know what that path is, but you're not willing to take the risk. You're like, that's not the smart choice. That's not the logical choice. That you might even be saying to yourself, that's not the realistic choice. That's the emotional choice, right? You might be saying that to yourself. That's the emotional choice. That's I wish, or one day, or someday, that kind of talk. This is intriguing, you guys. I hope this has resonated for you. And thank you so much for joining me for this reading and contributing your energy to these these daily collective energy checks. Okay, my friends, I'm sending you so much love and light today. Go for it. Go for whatever sets your soul on fire. You only live once in this form that you're holding right now. This is the only chance you get to be exactly in this configuration, right? Your soul is eternal and it will be back, I'm sure, but in a different configuration. So go for it. Have a wonderful day, my friends. Sending you so much love and light.